Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we are going over the Sonic the Hedgehog Shadow the Hedgehog Collector's Edition action figure from Jakks Specific. Before we begin, leave a like, hit subscribe, and comment below your favorite figure in this review. It really helps out the channel. Now let's get to it. Here is the box for the Sonic the Hedgehog Collector's Edition Shadow the Hedgehog. You can customize your very own Shadow figure here. It's amazing. This is made by Jakks Specific. There's warnings over here. On the top, we have a window for the figure with the logo, as well as the bottom with Shadow over there, legalese, and a barcode and logos. On one side, we have Shadow with his wing doing a cool pose over here, looking really nice. That's really amazing and super neat. And the other side is a picture of Shadow on that throne thing with more wing. And on the back, we have the Shadow Collector's Edition Shadow the Hedgehog with his amazing speed and raw power. Shadow the Hedgehog can control time and space with Chaos Control or unleash a powerful explosion with special Chaos Blast ability. We have 24 points of articulation, 2 interchangeable hand sets, 1 set of wings, 1 wing connector, and 1 clip, and a premium display base. And let's open up Shadow the Hedgehog! This Shadow's head sculpt is similar to the other Shadows we've seen from Jakks Specific. These smaller ones, it looks really nice and super cool. The eyes are done nicely with their highlights over there. The red around his eyes is nice, and the stripes on the back are just awesome looking. But there's one problem. Along the head, there's a bunch of seams, and I don't know why they're all here. They could have done this better, and they kind of failed in a way. It's kind of sad. It's a really hollow head, though, and pretty light, so there isn't much chance of him falling over or anything. But man, this looks really good, actually. I'm a big fan of how nice the paint is. Just the sculpting is kind of strange to me. And unlike the movie Shadow Mouth, this Shadow's mouth doesn't have any teeth, and the paint's pretty alright on it. There's some chipping on it. What a shame. Bummer. And as for articulation, we do get a nice swivel all the way around for Shadow's head, but the up and down and left and right pivoting isn't that great on it, sadly. The body has a lot of articulation compared to the other Sonic figures, and this is actually pretty nice here. The sculpt is really great and faithful to the games. I love how much detail they put into his chest, as well as the inhibitor rings, and the paint for the little spikes on his arms, at least with that red, is great, and the back is great too. And unlike that dumb head sculpt with all of its seam lines over here, ew, these seam lines over here for these spikes on the back have a point. And he does have chest articulation going back and forth a little bit side to side, but the swivel is mostly helpful with this, as well as a up this far and down and all the way around pretty much for the arm. He also has a butterfly joint harkening forward or back or whatever to the movie figures, with a swivel over here, a hinge going up this far on the arm with a hinge going back and then forward, as well as a little bit of pivot here there to the side and a swivel. It's a great hand sculpt as well as body sculpt for this hedgehog. And the legs are pretty nice. I do like all the primary colors. I'm so used to the darker movie colors that going back to this is a really interesting throwback. And the legs with these spindly sticks we've seen from any other Sonic character, but the red painted on them looks very nice, and it's a great blend of pieces here. The feet are huge but really well done. I love how they look. The inhibitor rings on those at least are nice, and we do have the jets on the bottom as well as pegs. That's amazing, and some legalese too. And then for the leg articulation, we do get up this far pretty much, and then back this far pretty much. All the way back is nice, 290 degrees. We do get a swivel at the very top, and then a swivel a little bit below it. I don't know why we have both, with a little bit of swivel at the knee, and then no swivel at the air chutes. We do get a really good pivot, as well as a nice hinge with good detents on them, and of course 2 peg holes above the feet. But what about Shadow's accessories? Find out right after this. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and hit the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. Shadow has an open right hand, looks pretty awesome, good for a stop or come on, or holding something. That'd be cool. And while you can place a Jakks Specific Chaos Emerald in there, it's really heavy, and already the arm is starting to fall, so yeah, it works at least. The hand I love is this claw hand. It's really cool and awesome. They should have given me 2 of these, and it's amazing. Shadow looks like it's gonna dominate the world with this one. It's great. And while a Jakks Specific Chaos Emerald may be too heavy to fit in this hand, as this is really loose over here and not wanting to work at all, Shadow can can pretty much hold a Jazzwares Chaos Emerald just fine, and I'm also not sure why there's paint defects on this hand, but really, it's a bummer. The curse of buying secondhand. Shadow also comes with this stand that you can easily clip on, and it does have movement in it, but it's really loose, honestly. And you can easily attach the clip to his back. It works out pretty nicely. It's like a leash almost. Come on, buddy. And that leash, per se, does attach to this base. It looks really cool, except for the back, as with every single action figure, but the front looks really nice. We get a hole on top for that stand to go into, as well as a lot of broken or shattered ground over here, looking great with some pegs too for his feet. And we also get a really cool ornate base, but I gotta say, this could be much golder as shown in the promo images, so yeah, I'm not saying it's a lie, but it's kind of not that great, honestly. Great sculpt, though. I love it. And the bottom is covered in screws and legalese and stuff, but all in all, it's a great little base and looks nice for Shadow. And attaching this to the base is pretty okay. You have to really clip it in and it works, and that looks pretty good. And then you just attach Shadow to it, and it's a little bit better, all things considered. And I'm not exactly sure what advantage the stand gives him, but he can sort of like float a little bit, which is pretty cool, but it does come back to earth quickly. And you can, once you find them, put the pegs into the shoes. It's kind of stupid. You don't really need it, honestly. I just have him just floating there a little bit. Yeah, he looks nice. But the biggest thing here are those Doom Wings, so let's take out this back piece over here and then plug in the Doom Wing piece over there. And showing off this Doom Wing is quite the sight. It looks awesome. There's a lot of points to it, as well as red and purple and black. It's amazing, very evil looking, and just cool. It's really cool. I love it so much. And for articulation, the wing can open up as well as down. It has some really good detents in there, but the paint does suffer a bit over here if you look in really close. So yeah, be careful with that. And they're both the same thing, but mirrored. Yeah, they look really nice, even if they're basically carbon copies of each other. Now let's put them on Shadow, shall we? Place one wing on the back right over here. Hopefully that fits. It's a very kind of high angle on that one. And then this one, putting that over there. And Shadow looks great with them on. I love how this whole thing looks. It is kind of hard to move them around his head spikes, but it's super cool. And I gotta say, yeah. I don't know if they were meant to really rotate up. These could have been like one part and I would have been fine, but them at least having articulation is pretty cool. And putting them up actually looks kind of scary in a way. And clipped onto the stand with his feet in the pegs and the Doom Wings on him on his throne. This is actually pretty awesome. And while you can stand Shadow up with the Doom Wings on his own, no stand, no throne, no nothing, he's really hunched over, honestly. Like, touch him, and he just, you know, kind of like collapses a little bit. Collector's Edition Shadow stands at about 5.5 to 5 3/4 inches taller, so next to the Jakks Pacific Mario and Sonic in 4-inch and 2.5-inch form, the Nendoroid Miles Tails Prower, the Jada Toys Mega Man, the Jakks Pacific Homer Simpson, and the Mattel Minecraft Movie Jack Black Steve, the Figma Metroid Dread Samus Aran, the Jazzwares Pikachu, and the Lego Bionicle gift with purchase to Watahu, the SH Figuarts Pac-Man, the Hasbro Marvel Legends Animated Series Spider-Man, and the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes. And here is the 6-inch Game Collector's Shadow next to the movie version and the smaller 4-inch game version. Yeah, these are just so much better, honestly. Why get this one? You already get way better articulation with the movie version, and while the game version isn't half bad with articulation, it still looks better than this. I mean, gold versus yellow. Come on, guys. Overall, a Shadow of an action figure. This Shadow Collector's figure looks really nice on the outset, but upon closer inspection, it isn't that great at all. There's a multitude of seam lines on the head, there's paint chipping off everywhere on this figure, and the articulation can barely hold anything, much less stand in some cases. The throne is really nicely sculpted, but it functions horribly. That stand can barely fit onto it, much less hold anything or even move, and the pegs on the stand are really hard to make work. And the Doom Wings look and feel amazing. The articulation isn't needed, but I really appreciate them putting it there. And with the only problem being that the paint chips a little bit on the inside that you can't really see when you move them sometimes, this is the best part of this figure. So if you're a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, Shadow the Hedgehog, or his Doom Wings, then you'll love this figure. It's pretty good. For me, this figure wasn't that great at all. I would recommend getting the 4-inch and 5-inch Shadow the Hedgehog figures before getting this one. They're much better anyways. But make no mistake, this Shadow Collector's figure spells doom for your collection. So which Sonic the Hedgehog collector's figure is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com for more reviews like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.